Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name's Mike Pirowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. It's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on The Rundown. Two-way views, conservative news, and Craig, guess what day it is?
Uh-oh. Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day!
That's right, folks. Today's hump day. This is the day in which we attempt to begin the weekend, sometimes with success, sometimes not. But as we like to say, the fun is all in the trying.
Yeah, exactly. Craig, by the way, note to self,
Yes.
no parties at Conan O'Brien's house.
No parties at Conan O'Brien's house, at least not with your kids. Don't take your kids to the parties at Conan's.
I like the guy. I like Conan a lot. I like his people, but yeah, no OPKs, no other people's kids. Yeah.
No, most definitely. Keep your kids at home.
Yeah.
Even if they're your adult kids. Don't get to go.
Adult, drug addict, homeless,
adult homeless drug addict. That's the person to invite to the party is a homeless drug addict. Or I guess if you're going to invite him to someone's home, invite him to someone else's home.
They did. Yeah. It's just he still followed him home though.
Yeah, that is man. Anybody who's ever dealt with someone who's had a family member who's dealt with drug addiction or addiction issues, you know, it. I mean, we make light of it, but it's beyond it. You don't even know what to say, except the things that you need to do are very, very hard to do because you hate to see them go through it, but they don't hit rock bottom. They ain't getting right.
Yeah. Now Conan lived in Palisades. His part of Palisades was part that didn't burn down. But I didn't realize the Reiners lived in Brentwood. Did you know that they lived in Brentwood?
I did not know that. I did not know that either.
Brentwood.
I did not know that either.
That means that Cato Kalin may be a witness.
He may be. Of course, Mark Furman may have planted evidence too.
That's quite possibly true.
That is definitely quite possible. How is your hump day going thus far?
Funny story. I had a doctor's appointment today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little concerned. This was just like annual physical test results. That's all it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten like 17 calls from the doctor's office, whether it be automated texts or call outs to make sure I was there for the test results. And I was like, what's going on? What's going on? I got there and she was like, oh no, they just went to enter. Oh, they checked the wrong box and it just kept calling you. That's fine. Sorry about that.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah.
Look,
thanks a lot.
We're
Doc.
at that age when the doctor says, "Make sure you're here." It's like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not lying. Like twice a day for the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
You know what? I think that's the same guy that's been calling me every day, trying to ask me if I want to sell my property. I think your doctor's moonlighting as a dude trying to flip properties.
Could be. Yeah.
Well, my hump day is going pretty well because I actually know what day it is today.
Yeah. Yes. Yesterday you didn't, but today you do. Yeah.
I had it in my head. Monday, I had it in my head that yesterday was going to be Wednesday. Yes. Like I had just decided, my subconscious and my conscious mind had just decided, yeah, no, we're skipping Tuesday. We're going straight to Wednesday.
See, I knew yesterday was Tuesday, but today I thought it was Friday because here's what happened was.
What happened was
I took the day off from the regular job.
Mm-hmm.
And I normally only do that on Fridays so I can get stuff done. Well, I did it today instead. So all day today I'm running around like it's Friday.
So. Okay. Well, I was thrown off a little bit. I play basketball Wednesday and Thursday mornings. And
just guys? Do you know their names?
Just guys. Yeah. I do know their names. Anyway, we play at the YMCA. We start at 5:30 in the morning, so it's pretty early. But anyway, having said that, I'm sitting up here. I started to think, Well, okay. Well, today's gonna be a relatively short day. I don't have this, and then I realized, wait a minute, it's not Friday because I had too much stuff to do today. I
Yeah.
had too much stuff to do today for it to have been a Friday. That's when I realized, oh, today's Wednesday.
There you go. There you go. Hump day.
Hump day. That's right. We're here on Hump Day. We've
Yep,
got
yep.
American Crossfire is in the house watching the program. Caught us from moment one. Goody, goody, goody for you.
What's up, guys?
Excellent stuff. So let's go ahead and get ready to get into the program. We're going to go ahead and do like we usually do. And we're going to start off with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yep. Say hi to our good friends at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. You want yourself some AR barrels, get on over there. They got rifle caliber, pistol caliber, any length you desire, plus a whole bunch of different barrels, rifles, pistols. Just check them out today at hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, law enforcement, security, personal security, fire, EMS, whatever it may be, get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com, where you get everything except the gun.
That's right, folks. These are our sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Do us a favor, do them a favor, do yourselves a favor. Check out their websites. All you have to do is follow the links in the description of this program. Go there, check them out, spend some money, and make sure you tell them it was the guys over at The Rundown that sent you. Also want to encourage you, if you're watching this program live, make sure that you comment. Let us know that you're watching. American Crossfire's already chimed in, but I can see right now they're not the only ones that are watching us live. So go ahead and give us a shout out. Let us know what's up. Let us know where you're watching us from. Let us know if you're interested in what we're talking about. I mean, folks, all I care about is that your comments are interesting. You don't have to agree with us, because if you disagree with us, well, then we know it's going to be interesting, because then that gives us the opportunity to mock you.
Oh, wow, is that a mockingbird?
Man, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
And mocking you is fun. At least for us, it is.
We will mock you. Mock you.
Yes, we will. Okay. So now what we're going to have to do now, right? I think I'm going to do, I don't know if you have, I don't have one of the AI, like one of those Sona song creators, but just have them literally do that. Like, we will mock you. Go ahead and have them make the song.
You know, if Freddie was around, we could just ask him to redo it for us. I did that before with a couple promo songs for our show, but Freddie's gone.
Freddie's gone. By the way, you know who else is dead?
Gil Gerard.
Zed's dead. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Zed is dead.
Yes,
And
the
Gil
actor
Gerard.
who played Zed in Pulp Fiction is dead. Officially died. 61 years old.
Yes, and Gil Gerard died yesterday also.
Gil Gerard. Okay, where do I know the name Gil Gerard? That name is so familiar.
Buck Rogers.
Buck
From
Rogers is dead?
From the 80s sitcom Meaty with him and Aaron Gray. Buck Rogers, yeah. Gil Gerard.
He's not dead, man. He's not dead. I'm telling you, he is in a space capsule. He is frozen. He'll be in the future. He's there.
That's true. You're right.
I saw the show. Didn't you?
I don't know how that slipped past me. Yeah.
Clearly you missed the memo. Ooh, let's talk about missing memos, folks. We're going to get into this first story here, and you know that Democrats are chiming in. They're preparing, right? Affordability is going to be their whipping stick, or whatever you want to call it. That's going to be the weapon that they're going to work to beat Republicans over the head with in the 2026 election, in the midterm elections. And one of the areas in which they're going to be pushing affordability, probably the number one area, is going to have to do with healthcare, in particular, the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. They are going out of their way to say that, look, Republicans are letting these subsidies, the COVID era subsidies, die. So they're the ones that are responsible for your healthcare becoming crazy expensive, completely and utterly ignoring the fact that it was Obamacare that has made healthcare so unaffordable. But you have some Republicans who are not going away so quietly. Now, these are Republicans who are in some moderate seats, but these Republicans have basically decided that, yeah, no, you know what? Since we're not going to get a vote on, these subsidies, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to force you to vote on these subsidies. And according to Politico, it says here, frustrated GOP moderates join Democrats to force Obamacare extension vote. 4 House Republicans joined Democrats Wednesday to force a House vote on a straight 3-year extension of the enhanced Obamacare tax credits that will expire December 31st, delivering a sharp rebuke to Speaker Mike Johnson and other GOP leaders. Representatives Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania, Mike Lawler of New York, Rob Breshahan of Pennsylvania, and Ryan McKenzie of Pennsylvania signed the discharge petition filed by Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries hours after House GOP leaders rejected attempts by Fitzgerald and other Republican moderates to seek a floor vote on the extended subsidies used by more than 20 million Americans. Now, Mike, the thing is, and well, one, I get why these Republicans are doing this. They're all in swing districts. They're all in districts that have high enrollment under Obamacare, and they know that a good number of their constituents are going to, their healthcare coverage is going to go up. But what gets me is they're more interested in re-election than doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, of course, right? From the day you get elected, you're running for re-election. That's just the way politics are. You think, Craig, there's any chance that they're doing this just so they can force the vote and have it fail?
I don't think so. I don't see. Well, here's the thing. One, I think they want to be on the record voting for the extension. Right. I think that's number one. So that way they can go to their things and say, look, wasn't me. I voted for the extension. Even though they know it's going nowhere in the Senate, if it passes the House or even if it fails the House, they can say, I am on the record having voted for the extension. And I think that's the reason why they're doing it. Not because they actually want them to happen, but because they want to be on the record voting so that they can't have that used against them.
Right. Got to say, not too overly concerned, right? Let's look at some recent history here, right? When the left comes up with the new attack plan to destroy conservatives, to destroy Donald Trump, the White House is quiet on it for a couple of weeks. They wait 2-3 weeks, right? Because they know it's so ridiculous, but they want the people to get hooked on what they say, get hooked on, man, the Democrats have said this. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, when it's clearly them saying it, then the White House comes out and goes, yeah, but here's how they're wrong, and embarrasses them every time. And that's what we see right now, because the White House is not talking about affordability. They're going to let this get hooked. Let this right. We got everybody. They're hooked. And then the White House is going to come out and go, no, bad Democrat, you're wrong.
Well, I think you're right and wrong. Here's where I think you're wrong, in that the White House is going to come out, but they're not just going to say bad Democrat. What they are going to do is they're going to do what I've said is going to happen earlier. They're going to agree to a temporary extension, but they're going to get a whole bunch of reforms to the way healthcare is billed, as well as to the ACA, in order to bring that cost curve down, so that when they do expire, we won't see healthcare costs go up. I think they're going to use it as leverage, and I think then it becomes a win-win, because Democrats get their extension unless they say no to the extension, which would be dumb, and Republicans get the reforms they want, and eventually the extensions go away.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it's a win-win. I know that at that same time, though, I know that there are some Republicans who are not going to like it. So Republicans are going to need to get Democrat support. but I think it's a win. I think it's a win-win and a win-lose for everybody because Democrats don't get the permanent extension that they want, and Republicans wind up furthering the extensions and spending more than they really wanted to for the next year or two, however long they agree to. Which quite honestly, any good political compromise has people on both sides who feel like they got something they wanted and they got something that had something forced on them that they didn't want.
Right. Yeah.
The question is that still possible in today's environment?
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot more. Healthcare is obviously going to be one of them. And by the way, keep in mind, we're not even talking about healthcare for everybody. This is just the 20 to 24 million people that are on Obamacare. That doesn't affect what will be a positive for the rest of us is we're paying huge chunks of money for those 20 million people. So eventually we will see that go down. But as the way in which they bill and all of the requirements that have been placed on healthcare because of Obamacare, all of us should see our healthcare become more affordable. And the reason why I use the term affordable, Mike, is because prices in general rarely come down. The idea is to keep them from going up and then increasing wages and salaries so that eventually we're earning more money to be able to afford it, as opposed to
Right.
doing what Trump was saying is, I'm going to bring down prices. Well,
Yep.
overall prices didn't come down, but he did bring down a lot of prices.
He sure did.
But what's that saying in politics? If you're explaining, you're losing.
Yeah.
And that's
unfortunately we have to explain a lot of it to the left, though.
What'd you say?
Fortunately, we have to explain a lot of it to the followers of the left.
Oh, well, they don't care. They're
Yeah.
the followers of the left, or the folks out there who all they do is listen to whatever the left tells them. The ones who
That's right.
listen to what I refer to as the common nonsense. Right? That's
Yes.
the stuff that everybody keeps spouting that ain't true.
Those that get their information from The View.
From The View. I'm sorry, I got that mental picture of the hosts and okay. Oh, speaking of The View and weirdos, let's talk about the National Education Association. They are the largest teachers union in the country. There's them and the American Federation of Teachers. And they're pushing this thing called neopronouns. Now, they're pushing this thing called neopronouns while at the same time claiming that, well, the name America, it's got issues. Let's read. This is a piece over at the New York Post. It says, do you know what a neopronoun or a zeopronoun is? The teachers unions want to make sure your little kids do. Earlier this month, the National Education Association held an Advancing LGBTQ plus Justice event. Documents obtained by the education watchdog group Defending Education, this person writer, full disclosure, they're on the group's board, contains slides illustrating these neopronouns. Neopronouns are new pronouns, such as ze, zem, and zer, and other letters randomly shoved together. Zeo pronouns are for conceptual identities such as cats, cat self. Got it? No? Well, but your kids are being force-fed this garbage in America's public schools. The NEA touts over 3 million members. Many of them teach in our schools. The union steeps teachers in this leftist brain rot, and the teachers spread it at schools across the country. Not just the gender bunk that was presented at their conference either. The NEA is not entirely sure this whole America thing is going to stick. So they refer to it as what we know as the United States of America and what we now call the United States of America in multiple slides. Apparently, zeo pronouns are rock solid, but a 249-year-old country might just be a fad. This like gives new definition to the term rewriting history.
Yeah, shout out to Amerigo Vespucci, by the way, also nice Italian explorer.
Amerigo Vespucci.
Amerigo. Yep, yep. Yeah, this is just idiots. By the way, you say this happening around the country. Not in Florida. It's not in Florida.
No, it is definitely not happening in Florida. We had we were having a meeting the other day, and we were dealing with an issue relating to dealing with our school board, dealing with a person who has multiple pronouns, and this person has issues with, how shall we say, they have issues with the fact they feel like other people are not complying with, the California law, and they're creating a hostile work environment by not using the desired pronouns. And when I kept referring to the person by a particular gender, they said, well, you probably, when we're doing this, you're probably not going to want to refer to them as that gender. I said, let's just put it this way. I said, it's not because I am hateful and not accepting of people choosing to be whoever it is that they want to be. It's that I have a proper understanding of the English language and the use of pronouns. And pronouns it doesn't belong to you. Pronouns belong to me. Your name belongs to you. You can have whatever name you want, right? You can pick your name. I will call you by the name you go by. But the pronouns are mine. Because that's why I call you instead of that name.
That's right.
So no, my pronouns are the pronouns are mine.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you want to be, Janice the Queen unicorn. Okay, that's your name, but I'm not calling you he or she unless it's proper.
Or Zer.
Or Zer. That's an X.
The very fact that they think they can just make all this stuff up. And it is the height. And once again, all you have to do is go back and just take some time, read about Karl Marx, read the Communist Manifesto. Just take the time to read the Das Kapital. And what you will come to understand is read Rules for Radicals. That's another one. Yep. Read it, and you will understand that the whole point of all of this is to get you to submit and undermine everything every institution, the family, the church, the government, the criminal justice system, your gender identity, human sexuality, basic science, math. And the idea is to get you to deny all that, because then once they've convinced you that none of that is actually real, then they can just convince you of whatever they tell you is real.
That's right.
If you don't believe that it's true, keep in mind, you literally have people who are saying, hey, if a kid shows up in a cat suit, we need to accommodate them.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, they're all for changing the narrative and changing the language and making up new words. Look at the Second Amendment issue, with the assault weapons and weapons of war, and they come up with all these different terms every time. In fact, Craig, I saw a response to the Bondi Beach shooting in Australia, and one of the shooters there used an old bolt action rifle, and they said his use of the bolt action rifle gave him more time to zero in on his targets in a military fashion.
Yeah, spoken like someone who's an idiot. Well, I mean, but Mike, you and I know this. What the term high-powered weapon, and they refer to that to firearms that shoot 226.
223, yeah, 5.56, 223.
I'm sorry, 223, 5.56.
Yeah,
high-powered.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where we're going now? No, I don't think so.
Yep.
But once again, that's why I call it common nonsense, because people believe some of the stupidest stuff. And it's, there are many, many times when I find myself, whether it's via social media or when I'm talking with somebody, basically providing them with basically debunking common nonsense. Like, yeah, okay, let me tell you the real truth. Let me tell you the facts.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, some people are not interested in the facts because it gets in the way of their narratives.
That's right.
All right, Julia Collins is chiming in. So good to see you. It says here she's taking her kids to TPUSA Amerifest this year. They're
Nice.
excited to see comedian Russell Brand. He's been charged with. Okay, okay. Julia's trolling. Julia's trolling me here, trolling us here. She's not going to TPUSA America Fest. She's trying to trash Russell Brand, which I don't like Russell Brand, so I don't know why you think I would be offended by that. Here's the thing. Russell Brand, first of all, TPUSA is all about freedom of speech. So there are things up there that Russell Brand there will be things up there that a lot of the people there will disagree with Russell Brand on. A lot of people will disagree. Tucker Carlson will be there. There's a lot of people who disagree with Tucker Carlson on a bunch of stuff. Wouldn't be surprised if Candace Owens, now that her and Erica Kirk have talked, wouldn't be surprised if she showed up there. And there's stuff they disagree about. Their whole point is they're going to have the dialogue and they're going to talk about stuff and they're going to agree on stuff and they're going to disagree on stuff. Try going to one liberal event and see if you see a single moderate, let alone conservative,
Right.
on the stage.
Right.
Julia, you have swallowed the Kool-Aid.
Drink.
And you have not been educated. You have been indoctrinated. But that was a very, very good attempt at trollery. So I give my hats off to your trolling attempt.
Attaboy.
Attaboy. By the way, who's talking about TPUSA? I honestly, she got me because I saw TPUSA and I was like, ooh, someone wants to talk about TPUSA and Amerifest. I'm like, I need to try and get to that. Just because Russell Brand's there. Now, anyway, Trump, this is an interesting one. Trump is accusing the U.S. Virgin Islands of violating the Second Amendment. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, you know what? Why are we so focused on the Virgin Islands, right? That makes absolutely no sense. Why are we focused on the Virgin Islands when it comes to there are places where there are a lot more Americans that are whose rights are being violated. Why are we so focused on this one? And I'm delaying because I thought I had the story up and I think I closed the story out. Let's see. Trump. Virgin. There we go. Bam. I knew I'd find it. Here we go. So this is according to PBS. And by the way, PBS they're actually right because Trump is actually doing this, and I agree with them. It says the Trump administration accuses the U.S. Virgin Islands of violating the Second Amendment. And the reason why I wanted to make sure to use this is because when you hear what they say they're doing, you're going to be like, yeah, that's a violation of the Second Amendment. This is from San Juan, Puerto Rico. It says, a Second Amendment clash has erupted between the federal government and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The U.S. government sued the U.S. territory, its police department, and police commissioner, Mario Brooks, on Tuesday, accusing them of obstructing and systematically denying American citizens the right to possess and carry firearms, the right to keep. They couldn't even call it the right to keep and bear arms. Anyway, the U.S. Virgin Islands requires applicants to demonstrate, quote, good reason to fear death or great injury to his person or property to quote, to have, quote, two credible person and have two credible persons to vouch for their need of a firearm. Local law also requires that someone have, quote, good moral character to obtain a gun permit, which is valid for up to 3 years and applies to a single weapon. The lawsuit states that no specific standard has been set or defined for the requirement of character. It also claims that the defendants regularly refuse to issue permits to those who by law are deemed to be an improper person by the territory's police commissioner. So now we see this happen in places like New York and New Jersey all the time, right? But it's already been deemed, at least here in the continental United States, that that whole moral character test or the fact that you have to demonstrate a need, that's not constitutional.
Okay, So I've been to the Virgin Islands several times, and I'm
Mhm.
quite familiar that with the fact that they are denied their Second Amendment rights. It is it's clear that the average citizen there cannot get a firearm. All those restrictions put in place were done so to make it impossible for a citizen to get them. Now, they are Americans. There's Americans as Puerto Ricans, as Americans as people from Guam, people from American Samoa. They're part of U.S. territories. However, remember under the Constitution of U.S. territories, the Constitution applies to them, Craig, but not necessarily all of the amendments to the Constitution. So this is a legal fight they're going to have to prove that they have the rights of all of the amendments and the Bill of Rights, not just the Constitution.
Interesting. Uh, well, and maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason why they're fighting it. Maybe they're like, well, we need to address this for so that we can get even people who are in the territories, get them their rights back. Hmm. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Tell you, here's another interesting story that was generated over there by the New York Post, and this has to do with who's really driving polarization, as well as conspiracy theories. And according to a study, it turns out that it's older Americans who are driving polarization online and online conspiracy theories. And this is according to a study. Let's read a little bit more. It says, with age comes social media mania. Older generations are driving political polarization and conspiracy theories on top internet platforms, while Zoomers tend to be more issue focused rather than on partisan warfare, a sweeping new study found. Social profiler and artificial intelligence platform combined through combined combined through the top social media site combed I'm sorry through the top social media sites and analyzed some 756 million profiles to conclude that older generations are more outspoken about partisan politics online than younger ones. It's a quote. I would say a lot of the findings are very unconventional. Social profiler CEO Tony Noskoff admitted to the Post. Political discussions, political discussion is not really popular among younger generations, so it's mostly about activism and non-political activism. The study assessed posts that users of different age groups interact with the most on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to help reach its conclusions. While Gen Z frequently engages with left-leaning political content and progressive social issues, it was the millennials and Gen Xers who were more slanted towards traditional partisan content, and the study found. Um, it says here a talker research survey of 2,000 Americans, adult ages 50 and older, commissioned by Centrum Silver in September, found that the average older American spent a collective of 22 hours per week in front of some type of screen, including scrolling through social media. Another study by the University of Colorado Boulder found that adults age 55 and older are significantly more likely to share political misinformation than younger social media users. As Americans age, they become more partisan, and those beliefs can muddy their online judgment. The November 2025 study found. Uh, I want to get your thoughts on this before I share mine.
I just want to point out, Craig, when they're talking about older Americans, both stories are referring to you, sir.
Mm,
To you.
Yes, I do know
You're
this,
you're in that
and
age
you
group.
too,
No,
and
no,
you
no.
too.
I recently turned 45. So
Yeah, and you've also recently lied.
I more recently turned 50 though. So
You more recently turned 50.
so
Well, part of it, the reason why people tend to talk a little bit more about it is because as you get older, you realize that it's not just about politics. The politicians are the ones who drive the issues because they pass the laws. And younger people don't get that yet, number one.
Right.
Number two, it tends to be issue oriented because they're not smart enough to know or understand and connect the dots. They're not wise enough. They haven't been around long enough to know and understand a lot of that. They tend to be more uniform because younger people tend to be more, well, although it's starting to change a little bit more now, they tend to be a little bit more, they're trending more conservative. But the other thing is that when you consider the fact that younger women are trending liberal and younger men are trending conservative and younger men want to date younger women, they're probably keeping their mouth shut about a lot of this stuff so that they can hook up.
A guy would never lie to a girl to hook up, Craig.
I know that's hard for you to believe, Michael. I know that you would have never done that when you were younger.
Never.
Ever.
Never. I believe
Ever?
in respecting a woman and her beliefs.
You respect her enough to lie to her. Yeah, no, this is, I mean, this is just, I don't want to put this. Yes, we tend to, well, first of all, I'd be very interested to see what they refer to as misinformation or disinformation, because there are a lot of things that you and I know that are deemed disinformation or misinformation that turned out to be true.
Yes. Yes. Every time, right? That's been the backstory of both Trump administrations.
Exactly. Oh, American Crossfire chimed in. This isn't the first time she's come in and tried to start something. It's probably a Russian bot. You know what? That's exactly what I said about her last time she commented. Now that I remember, I said, you sound like a Russian bot. Actually, when you go and you look at her social, at her profile, looks like a Russian bot. I'm like this. If you don't have many comments, if you're posting stuff and nobody's commenting on it, I'm going to assume that you are a Russian bot.
She's a bot. Shai's bot.
Here it is. She said, we've had a Republican president and a Republican majority in every branch of government for 11 months. This is probably as good as things will ever get for conservatives, but it's not that great. Oh, I'm sorry. The borders are shut down. Economic growth is going up. Inflation is coming down. Some prices for some things, like gas, have come down, like eggs have come down, like a number of different things across the board have come down. We've seen several wars and conflicts have ended. Democrats, liberals have been exposed. I mean, we're now finding out about all these people who stole money during the Biden administration, who stole money because of these. I'm sorry, things are going pretty darn good. I don't know what world you're living in, Ms. Collins.
The propaganda
things are
world.
Going pretty damn good.
Propaganda world.
Propaganda world. Yeah, exactly. She's full of that common nonsense that we were talking about earlier.
There you go.
Just put down the Kool-Aid. Put it down. But, or at least do me a favor. Let me know what flavor it is. Is it purple? Is it purple or red? Or orange? All right, folks. So that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Let's go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces, one word. Get your Hog Holsters today. Wanted to share this video. A couple of these are going to just be kind of fun because I wanted to share with you guys the kind of the talking points. I mean, talking points right now are, oh yeah, we're shooting these boats and we don't know who's in them. Well, guess what? According to this right-wing prominent Republican, we know exactly who's on the boat.
I can report to you what Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman said today, who went into a classified briefing and came out and said, we know exactly who's on the boats. We know exactly what they're doing. We know exactly what they have.
When they move on those kinetic kinds of strikes, they have absolute confidence that who's on it and what's on it, and that's exactly what it's about. They're not just going around randomly just shooting boats in those things. That's just not the fact.
We can't ever let you see these are classified briefings, but you have a United States senator of the president's opposition party saying, I got a briefing, I saw the intelligence, and we know exactly what we're doing.
They lied for months. It was about fentanyl.
If you want to call John Fetterman a liar, go ahead. But that's what he said.
Craig,
It
I'll say
is-
this because the point came out today. Like, well, it's not fentanyl; it's cocaine. I don't care. I don't care. It could be cocaine. It could be heroin. It could be it could be whatever.
Let's be honest.
drug
It
that's killing our
is
people.
about regime change, and the fact is that they are terrorists, and the fentanyl, the cocaine, whichever one it is, the drugs is all about. That's how they fund it, right? That's what the video we showed yesterday. It literally showed that that's how almost all of these terrorist groups pay for it.
Yep,
is drugs. So yeah, it's not just about drugs. It's about terrorism. That's why they're called narco terrorists.
there you go.
Do-do-do. Anyway, also on the mode of affordability, here's something else that a lot of people on the left don't understand. Like they want to blame Republicans for things not being affordable. Well, guess which states tend to be the most unaffordable?
Highest and lowest cost states to live in. Here we go. California, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Washington, D.C. All weird Democrat-run states and the highest cost to live in. Who saw that coming? And look at the lowest cost of living. Oklahoma, Kansas, Mississippi, Alabama, West Virginia, and Texas. Weird. What does that also look like? Yeah, those states all voted red. They all voted for Trump. And the more affordable states seem to be very closely mirroring the red states you see here. Strange, right? So Democrats might tell you that they're for affordability, but in practice, they make nothing more affordable. I mean, look at this, 2015. Those real wages are declining into Trump's presidency, okay? January, and not until January of 2017, he takes office. And then they start rising consistently for 4 years until 2020. Oh, look, they dip dramatically. They rebound slightly only once Republicans take control of Congress and rein in his radical spending. I mean, like, there is a pattern here. Trump up, Biden down. Trump Republican, Biden Democrat. Like, Trump understands the economy probably better than anyone since Reagan. Probably how he became a billionaire.
That's right.
Now that is common sense. That is not common nonsense right there.
That's right. There you go.
Right. And one of the reasons why things are so have become so expensive is because we've poured trillions of dollars into the economy, and a lot of it hasn't really gone to really benefit anybody. It's basically been money that has been stolen.
Obamacare subsidies have a 90% fraud rate.
Yeah, so the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, submitted a lot of claims in the tune of hundreds of claims, and they were fraudulent, using a fraudulent Social Security, using fraudulent addresses, using fraudulent names, and only 10% was rejected, 90% was accepted.
Yep, that's how it works. That's how it works, Mike.
Yep.
Okay, here we have a couple of these are coming from our friends over at the Babylon Bee Fake News that you can trust. A Brown University hires Chief Wiggum to track down shooter.
Yep. And he said that the suspect was hatless. I say again, the suspect was hatless.
The suspect was hatless. And then also we have here, Trump imposes 25% tariffs on incoming Christmas presents from the North Pole, which is why I told my granddaughter she's not getting any presents from Santa this year.
Okay. That sounds like fun at your house.
Just being funny. Tell you about fun. Here's fun at Mike's house. This is Mike's workout plan. It says here, I run every day for 20 minutes. If I miss a day, I add 20 minutes to the next day. This has truly been a game changer. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to run for 4 months.
That's right. Works. It works.
Mikey.
Tomorrow's 4 months and 20 minutes. So
4 months and 20 minutes.
Yep.
You're better than this, sir. You're better than this. All right, folks. Well, that brings us to the end of our program. But before we go, we're going to give one more quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yep. Say hi to those friends over at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. Get on over there, get you some AR barrels, rifle caliber, pistol caliber, any length you want for your next AR build or rebarrel your current AR platform. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, security, fire, EMS, whatever it may be, get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com where you can get everything except the gun.
All right, folks, that's it for today's program. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. Do us a favor. If you have not already done so, please make sure like, share, subscribe wherever you watch us and wherever you don't watch us, wherever we are, go there, like, share, subscribe, and encourage your friends to do the same. We will be back tomorrow on Throat Punch Thursday. Till then, y'all have fun, stay safe, and we will see y'all mañana.